Cordial greetings for all of you. My name is Lorena Patricia Bedoya Ocampo. I am undergraduate student in English as a foreign language in Universidad Nacional Abierta y a Distancia. Today I am going to talk to you about my research project. It is about the lack of parental involvement in school for students with challenging behaviors. Being a teacher is a task that involves passion, dedication, creativity, satisfaction, reward, and also facing many challenges. One of the most common that I had personally had to deal with is the lack of involvement of parents, especially with the students who had behavioral problems. For this reason, I chose this topic as a research project. Parents always want what best for their children, and with that goal, they do their educational homework as best they can. But not everything they do for their education, for example, authoritarianism or excessive permission in discipline roles, and detrimental of the child. The educational action carried out by the family should be complemented by that carried out by the school. The child should not perceive the school as something facing the family himself that acts differently. Therefore, parents should show educational interest by attending school appointments or meetings, interview with the teachers, and collaborating and strengthening the relationship with those who also want what is best for their children. Studying this problem can be helpful for students with behavioral problems. Parents and teachers should work hand in hand to help find solutions to these behaviors that harm not only those with this type of behavior but the entire student community. For the development for this research, I support myself in some authors who have studied the subject. Among them are, for example, according to Kaplan in 2000, students whose families are involved in their education typically receive higher grades and test scores, complete more homework, have better attendance, and exhibit more positive aptitudes and behaviors. According to Henderson in 1987, found that academic benefits gained for family involvement with elementary school students continued through the middle and senior high school levels. Furthermore, studies have observed these positive outcomes regardless of students' ethnic or racial background or socioeconomic status. Nothing that the students are risk of failure have the most to gain when the schools involve families. According to Ferguson in 2004, educators benefit when family involvement is strong, as school staff gains in awareness of the ways they can build on family strengths to support student success. As teachers understand more about the student life, they can connect learning outside of the schools to classroom learning in real and meaningful ways. According to Kovic, Keretnes, and Leipukes in 2014, and Diogo in 2007, Ginebra Note and Ferrari in 2015, parenting has been one of the main focuses on empirical research in developmental and educational fields, and much theorizing has been advanced about parents' personal and social factors that better foster children's growth and development. Particularly in adolescence, there are several developmental and contextual transformations as well as challenges that affect not only adolescents but also their parents. The transition to secondary school is a period with several developmental tasks involving academic challenges, decision making processes, regulation of peer socialization, and important vocational decisions. On the other hand, I also survey parents to collect information to help me with the research. The question that I made for the parents were: the first one, name of the personal survivor and the age. The first question: do you avoid screaming when correcting your child? Yes, no, and why? Second, do you think your child's aptitude is personal? Yes or no, and why? Third question: do you explain to your child that his way of acting is not correct? Yes or no, and why? Fourth question: are you trying to stay in control when it challenges you? Yes or no, and why? The fifth question: do you act in anger when your child tells you, I hate you? Yes or no, and why? Sixth question: do you give your child confidence by talking to him and explaining that his behavior is not correct? Yes or no, and why? Question number 7: do you attend the calls or attention that the school makes? Yes or no, and why? Question number 8: do you track your child's behaviors? Yes or no, and why? Question number 9: does your school support training that should be given to children who had this situation? Yes or no, and why? Question number 10: do you use the help of professionals to manage this situation? Yes or no, and why? Question number 11: do you attend all your child's school's meetings? Yes or no, and why? And the last question, question number 12, was: do you believe that your child's education is only the responsibility of the teachers? Yes or no, and why? After that, I did my survey with the parents. I have the survey results. You can see on my screen the results. Sorry. And according with the result, my conclusion is that it has shown in table 2.70% of the respondents revealed that the level of parents' participation in improving students' school behavior is low. In this study, low participation implies that parents are not actively involving themselves in giving advice, delivering ethical training and counseling activities for their children to enhance desirable behaviors of school students. In conclusion about my research project, is the parents' involvement plays a vital role in implementing the operation of the educational system. They can truly make a difference in developing and maintaining the desirable behavior of school students. They believe and expectation are crucial in improving school families' relations and shaping students' school behaviors. This study revealed that the contribution of parents is improving student school behaviors is low due to multiple factors such as weak parents-school partnership, lack of awareness of parents, and ineffective communication in the study area. Improper rules and regulation, negative relationships between students and teachers, lack of continuous monitoring and evaluation on school administrators, poor teaching methods, inadequate school facilities, and unconducive school environment, unusual monitoring of parents, and base of students' economic condition are identified as main factors leading students to disciplinary problems in the school. For this, the provision of good ethical leadership and moral education, creating awareness in society, provision of adequate school facilities to run effective teaching learning process, The establishment of appropriate parents-school partnerships and enhancing affirmative teacher-student relationships were explored by these students as possible strategies which must be applied in the school. And also in the same fashion, this study found that giving rewards and prizes for model students and frequently involving parents in school affairs are more effective in producing desirable student behavior in the school. Finally, this study also shows that the presence of communication barriers such as misunderstanding and language difficulties, poor school climate, with parents-school coordination, with school governance and leadership, lack of interest of parents for involvement in the school issues, negative perception of parents towards school responsibility, that is perceiving as the only government responsibility. Parents' negative prior experience with the schools, the inability of parents to help children with their homework, and less focus on cultural intelligent behavior were identified as factors which could affect the involvement of parents in the school affairs. Therefore, we can infer that the students with involvement of parents in their school tend to have fewer behavior problems and better academic performance, and are more likely to complete high school than students whose parents are not involved in their school affairs. Thank you for your attention.